Hey, Facebook friends, Katie here from Masterbooks. Sorry, we're running just a couple of minutes late. Had a little technical glitch there, but we're on with you now, and we're so glad to be here. And I'm here with my friend Carrie Lindquist, and she is the author of the Foundations Phonics curriculum I was telling you about earlier. And I'm excited that we're going to get to kind of dive into this a little bit, find out more, and hear from Carrie herself. So we are live, so we'd love it if you would comment. Send some comments our way, some questions. Carrie is willing to answer your questions if you have them as we go along here during our chat. So make sure and leave your questions below. That would be wonderful. And we also have the opportunity, we are giving away 2 free copies of the Foundations Phonics curriculum today. So we want you to like our video, comment, and share it. If you don't mind to share this video with your friends on your Facebook wall, we will enter you to win a copy of this. We're going to give away 2 of these today. So lots happening and lots going on. So I'm excited to be here with you, Carrie.
I'm excited to be here too.
And would love it if maybe you would just tell our friends just a little bit about yourself. Let's start with that.
Well, like you said, my name is Carrie Lindquist, and I'm a homeschool graduate. I've been married now for almost 6 years, and I have 2 little boys. I am a blogger at aneverydaymom.com, and I just kind of blog about everyday life and motherhood and now phonics.
That's awesome. So is this your first project? Is this
Yes.
your first curriculum
Yes.
that you've written?
Yes,
Very
it is.
good. And you mentioned you have 2 little boys.
Yes.
So I imagine perhaps they inspired the curriculum.
Yes,
Is that
they
right?
did. They did. My oldest son is very, very active, and I wanted something that would kind of capture all that energy and put it to good use.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Well, just off the bat, I'm a mother myself, but my little girl's 6 months old, so she's still very young. But I have to admit, when I hear the word phonics and I think of, teaching a young child to read and
Right.
to even write, it feels really overwhelming.
It
I mean,
does.
I feel like, even up until this point, I've taught her certain things, but the idea of teaching my child to read and write does feel overwhelming. So, and I imagine I'm not alone in that. So if
Right.
you have similar feelings out there, comment, encourage me, help me feel a little bit better about myself. But maybe tell us a little bit about how maybe this is a good tool for moms who may have those similar feelings.
Right. I definitely think that is just a big fear out there, and it's something that I've heard echoed just so much in my own circle of moms, where somehow we're qualified to teach our kids how to read, or not read. We're working on teaching them how to read.
That, right.
But we're qualified to teach them how to walk, how to talk, how to use manners. We teach them how to count and their colors and that type of stuff. But somehow when it comes to actually teaching them how to read, there's this mental block that says, well, I'm not qualified, I don't know how to do that, it's time to just ship them off and let somebody else handle it.
Right.
But I really think that as your child's mother, you are their best teacher. You know their strengths, you know their weaknesses, you know how they love to learn. And as their mother, you can really capitalize on that. And this is also the stage where your child is beginning to remember the different experiences that they share with you. And so this is a really great opportunity to create some really awesome memories, because I know I definitely remember sitting with my mom and working through the program.
Yeah.
So when you're their teacher, you kind of you pour all that into them, and it impacts them lifelong. And
So you're a big advocate for homeschooling, of
Yes.
course, right?
Yes,
right.
very much.
So I love hearing that. I love that encouragement that we as moms are capable of doing that. Again, I think that the world tells us we're capable of so much, but a lot of times teaching our children certain skills, maybe we're made to feel like we can't do that. So that's super encouraging. Well, tell me about, so this curriculum, looking at this book here, and I want to know, as far as a time commitment. So we're all busy.
Right.
Right? And
Very,
you have
very
2
busy.
little boys,
Yes.
and I just started back to work after having my little girl. So we're all busy, and we have a lot going on. What kind of time commitment are we looking at as far as, day-to-day with this curriculum?
Right. I definitely wrote it for very busy moms, because I figure if my attention span isn't long enough to get through the lesson, my kid definitely is not going to pay attention. So as far as time commitment goes, when you buy the book, you're just going to read through. There's a few intro pages, kind of tell you what you need to do, how to do it, some intro tips. And then your lessons, there's a narrative portion, and that's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes for you to read out loud to your child. So I usually get through it between 5 and 8 minutes when I'm doing it with my son. From there, once they hit lesson 4 and they actually start reading, there's a little reading section that's going to take another 5 to 10 minutes, and then your kid's going to work through the little learner activity sheet, which just has like coloring, activities, writing, different things to really tie in the lesson, and that's just another 5 to 10 minutes. And so for the lessons, they take about 20 to 30 minutes to get through, and then there's some optional bonus activities where if you want to get out Play-Doh with your kids and explore the lesson, you can do that, but they're not going to take a lot of time. And so altogether, you're looking at maybe 20 to 30 minutes 3 times a week to get through the program. And it's a 1-semester course, so you're looking at about a half year to get it done.
Okay, wow. And so when we think of, young learners, like what age did you create this curriculum for? Do you feel like it's appropriate?
It's created for advanced kindergartners who are ready to learn how to read to about 1st grade, so you're looking at about a 5 to 7 year range on that.
And when you say children that are ready to learn, that's one thing I noticed here in the front. You actually have a couple of like bullet points on how to recognize if your child's ready. So tell me a little bit about that.
A lot of times, a big problem is we're ready to teach our kids to learn how to read before they are. And that is such a big component if your kid is knowing when your child is actually ready. So I think the biggest thing, especially us strong-willed mamas will know, is if your child's not motivated to learn, you're not going to get anywhere. And so look for that excitement, that they're reading books, they want to know what the words say, they're interested in their letters. That's a really big key. After that, you're looking for awareness, that your child is recognizing that the words they see on a page and the words you say to them have meaning and it's conveying a message. You want your child to be able to recognize the letter shapes and sounds so that they can see a letter, they know what it says, they know the shape it's in, even if they're not getting it right quite all the time. But you need that they're recognizing that what's in print is conveying a message.
Sure.
Another important thing is that your child can identify that they can hear a story, they can repeat it back to you, that they can put themselves kind of in that story and really understand it. And the final thing is that they can discern. And so when you say the word car, can they hear the C sound at the beginning of it? Or dog, can they discern and pick out the G sound at the end? It's really important because they do need to be able to pick out the individual sounds as they're reading or as you're speaking a word so that they can recognize what they're looking for.
Well, that's good. I know, again, for myself, I keep putting myself in the shoes of all these sweet ladies that are tuning in right now, but I just, especially being my first child, I really kind of need a step-by-step, and I really need guidance and anything that can kind of help me realize and understand this, maybe the course for me, I'm all about it. So let me ask you this. I'm looking at this book. So the student and the teacher information is in this one book. Is that right? Okay. Yep. So tell me a little bit about that, how that works as far as like the student information versus like the teacher side of things.
I don't think that the big, huge teacher manuals are always very helpful because they kind of just add on to that stress and that feeling of I can't do this.
Right.
And so doable. So all of your teacher tips are in the beginning, and that's just a few pages to kind of help you get your bearings and figure out what you need to do. After that, it's the lesson narrative, so you're just going to go through, read the narrative, work through the lesson with your student, and then do the activity sheets. And throughout the book, there's more tips or little things to help you say, hey, if this isn't working here, you can tweak it, you can change the program to meet your student. It's completely flexible.
It's perfect. And I see, of course, it's 3-hole punch and perforate.
I remember that. And now, all these years later, every now and again, a situation will come up where you think, oh, yeah, I remember that. And so I thought, what better time in a child's life to really capitalize on that memory and begin teaching them that the very best book is the Bible, that it can be trusted, that God loves them, and some various things like that. And so it's Creation to Christ themed, and in that, the student learns just kind of like basic theology. They learn about how the world was created. They learned about the fall. And it kind of builds on why Jesus needed to come to save us. And so through it, they're learning the whole basis for the gospel so that they can trace God's story from creation to the resurrection and kind of know how that all fits into their life.
Wow. So did you do that chronologically? Is that right?
Yes. Yep. Each letter is associated with a different part of the Bible. So like N is for nothing, that's before creation. D for design, because God designed the word. E is for Egypt, and it goes from there, and we take the kids to Egypt and study Moses and how the Lord saved his people, and it just goes throughout there to the life of Jesus, where they learn about some of the miracles and eventually the cross and the resurrection, and also how that applies to them, because it's also important that they understand why they individually need a personal Savior. And there's actually a lesson in here where you can walk your kids through the gospel message and a prayer if they want to.
Wow,
and
that's super special. My word, I love that. Wow, I just think that's pretty incredible. So everything I've heard you say about this curriculum, all just in this one book, I'm just pretty overwhelmed by the price.
Yes.
Underwhelmed, I guess is the
Yes.
word, because it's so affordable.
Yes.
It's so affordable. So typically this is retail $29.99, but we are running a special on our our website, $23.99. Masterbooks.com is the name of our website. And so you can pick up this curriculum that we're talking about today for $23.99. That is so affordable.
It is.
I mean, I feel like when I've looked around and kind of researched phonics programs, there's really nothing comparable in price as far as like all that's included for that price. It's pretty incredible. Yeah. So I encourage you, again, masterbooks.com. You can pick up your copy for $23.99. It's a great price, so you'll want to take advantage of that. I am going to kind of peek over here over my shoulder and just see if we have any questions coming in, because I would love to make sure that we're addressing your questions if you have any for us. So let me pop over here real quick and just take a look. This is pretty fun. This is really, I've done a few teaser Facebook Live, but really this is our first time interviewing one of our authors, and so it's a big day. So we appreciate you being with us. We appreciate your grace. And because Carrie and I are both talking, I mean, she has 2 little people. I have a very little person at home, and they are wonderful, but we're still, I think, in a way, just, the pregnancy brain is a real thing. So we appreciate your grace on all this, but we're having fun doing it. So let me take a peek over here and see if there's any questions that we can address real quick. Want to make sure that we're doing that. Feel free again to comment. Give us your questions. We are so willing to answer them and see how we can help you out. So please, we've got some hearts going on and some likes, so that's fun to know that you're out there and you're liking our video. We appreciate that. But again, if you have any questions, now is the time. You have the author of this curriculum right at your fingertips. So so go ahead and comment in your questions, and we'll make sure and address those. We are going to give away 2 free copies of this curriculum. So if you don't mind to share our video on your personal Facebook page, like our video, leave us a comment or a question, you'll be entered to win a copy of Foundations Phonics. We're going to give away 2 of these. So please make sure and do that. So while we're still here visiting for just a few more minutes, Carrie, tell me again where we can find you online. Remind us of the name of your blog.
Online, you can find me at aneverydaymom.com, and I will have posts going up in the next week to kind of introduce the phonics, give you a more detailed view of it, answer some FAQs, delve a little bit deeper into how do I know when my kid is ready to read, and just some stuff like that. So you'll definitely want to go check out aneverydaymom.com. And keep an eye out for those posts.
Perfect. Well, that sounds good, and I think we probably have a lot of moms on here, everyday moms, that can really relate to what you share in your blog. So I'm excited for them to connect with you there. Let me make sure I've gone through all my questions here.
So that we have a couple questions.
Do we?
There.
Oh, good. I'm so glad that you popped over. Okay. So good. So we have a question here. It says, "Does this address writing?" Or how does this address writing, or does it? Great question.
Yes, it does address writing. So after the kids start reading, or actually before that, there's a section for the kids to write after each lesson. Now, it's also designed because some kids are actually ready to start reading before they can hold a pencil really and know how to use it. Sure. And so it's designed so that if your kid is ready to write, you can go through the whole lesson, you can do the writing component, and they can learn that too. If your kid really has that desire to learn and read and you want to capitalize on that, but they're just not ready to hold a pencil and do all the writing and they're just not ready for that at all, you can still go through these lessons and just skip the writing portion and save it for later. Once your kid is ready to learn how to write, then you can go back and you can say, okay, well, let's practice the end, and just kind of start at the beginning and let them write through the course.
Oh, good. Okay. So great. So we hope that answered your question. Great question. We appreciate that. Thank you, Angela. And how long does it take to get through the course? That was another question that we got.
It is a one semester course, so it's going to take about half of the school year to get through. There's 54 lessons, so you're going to do 3 lessons each week. That's how it's set up to do. But again, if you need to take it a little bit slower for your child, or you want to really speed ahead and go much faster, you can completely tweak it, and it's not going to hurt your child one bit.
Good. Great questions. These are great. And I just wanted to remind myself, too, as I'm looking at our website, again, masterbooks.com is our website, and you can go directly to the page for the Foundations Phonics if you go to masterbooks.com/Foundations Phonics. There are some PDF samples of the book here on the website, so if it's something that you want to look at a little bit closer, and I know it's kind of hard to see here on video, I know we've kind of opened up some spreads for you to look at, but there are some PDFs there on the website that you can browse through, and it'll kind of give you a better idea of what we're talking about. So feel free to do that again at masterbooks.com. $23.99 for this incredible curriculum. Just want to remind you of that. Great price, so make sure you hop over there and take a look. Any more questions? I want to make sure that we're getting to all of your questions, and I'll keep you pulled up here. So I have a question here from Nicole. Great question, Nicole. What age grade level typically would this be for? So we're going to go ahead and address that.
All right. Well, this is for a kindergartner who's ready to learn how to read to first grader. So you're looking at about 5 to 7. The most important thing is obviously that your kid is ready, which we talked about a little earlier in the video, and I'll also be addressing that topic a little deeper on the blog. But basically you're looking for motivation, you're looking for, are they recognizing that the letters on a page are conveying meaning, that they're related to the letters and the sounds that they know. You're looking for the abstract thinking, can they process all of this, can they identify with the story that they're reading. Things like that are definite clues that your kid is ready to begin reading.
Good. So I hope that answered your question, Nicole, and let us know again if you want us to go a little deeper into that, or if you have more questions, we'd be happy to answer those. Thank you for your question. I know I have to remind myself that maybe some people are just now hopping on, that maybe you didn't catch us at the very beginning of the video. So again, I'm Katie from Masterbooks, and we're here with Carrie Lindquist, the author of Foundations Phonics, curriculum for young people that are preparing to learn to read. And again, if you don't mind, just to one more time, I feel like it's important just to encourage the moms out there that they can do this, that they can teach their young children to read. Can you just one more time share that with us?
I think it's just a cultural fear that we have, that all of a sudden our kid hits this age and we're no longer qualified to teach them. And I think sometimes we just have to look back and realize, well, I taught my kid how to walk and talk and eat, and I've already taught them their colors and how to count and all this stuff. And really teaching your kid to read isn't that much different than all the things that you've already taught them.
Yeah, and this is an all-inclusive tool is what I consider. It's a student and teacher book all in one. So this is really all that you need, and you can tear out the pages. They're perforated, 3-hole punch, so this is perfect really for any homeschool family to utilize. And so we are just really proud of this project, and we've got a question here from Courtney. She says, awesome curriculum for a great price. So that's so nice. So Courtney, can you tell us, I know we're a little delayed in the video, but have you actually gone through this curriculum with your kiddos? Is there anything special that you can share with us about that? We'd love for you to do that here in the comments section. Thank you for that nice comment. That's awesome. We are giving away 2 free copies of the Foundations Phonics today. So if you would share our video on your Facebook page with your friends and followers, that'd be great. If you'd like it, and leave us a comment or a question, we'll enter you to win a free copy. We're giving away 2 of those today. So make sure and do that. And we, again, appreciate your participation. So make sure that we're not missing anything else here as far as questions go. But it's been so great being with you guys today. This was really fun. Again, kind of our first attempt at an interview style scenario with our Facebook Live. But we're going to do more of these. We feel like it's super valuable to get just in front of you guys with our authors, and to actually have access to them to ask questions about this curriculum that you're investing in with your family. We feel like it's super valuable. So we're going to do more of this. And so we hope that you'll continue to follow us and participate. And we're looking forward to it. So thanks again for being with us. We're going to continue to answer questions. So if you've got questions, feel free to keep sending them in. We'll make sure to type in a response there since we're going off live here in just a few minutes. But we'll make sure to get all of your questions answered. So thanks again for being with us. It's been fun. Thank you, Carrie, for your time this afternoon. And we'll see you back here soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.